Pretty good work day today. Got some different situations that we instituted. You're working, full group substitutions. Just trying to build that knowledge and the experiences throughout practice. I've had three pretty good days. The workload's been high. I really like the competitiveness that we're showing. Just continuing to refine the fundamentals and the specifics of what we're trying to accomplish. So I thought it was a good day. Really been trying to get a good look at the two young quarterbacks. I've really been pleased with Chuba and Tate these last few days. We've had a big workload. You look at the scrimmage, and I would say McKenzie and Jordan probably took overall about 85% of the snaps. So we wanted to get a few days here this week to let those young guys show their growth from the scrimmage, and I think both those guys have really taken advantage of those opportunities here. You'll get some reps with the first group and trying to mix and match that. So good work days. Tomorrow will be a special teams emphasis, also continuing to work some other situations, 2-minute drills, things like that. So hopefully we continue to build off of what we've been installing here this week and be a little bit crisper tomorrow when it comes to that.
Quarterback maintenance, is that par for the course for you, or is it just?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. We're going to continue to work those guys, making sure we get a great evaluation of each of the guys. It's one of those things, especially with the young guys. There's times when you're working with the third group, and maybe the line combination that you're with is a little bit different. Trying to get them matched up with some of the better guys up front and some of those receivers to see how they respond. And I think they've done a nice job with it. Yeah, I thought yesterday, when you go back and watch it, I thought they made the right decisions quite a few times. And there's some things they got to clean up with their technique. But I thought today they came out. They were really, I think they're building in their confidence of where they're supposed to go and what it needs to look like. It's just the consistency, playing and play out, understanding the situation. We've had a few guys up front that we're working different combinations there. So just make sure they're all on the same page. But I think it's been a really good day for Chuba and Tate here the last couple of days.
Did you like some of the decisions they're making? Because you talked about the decision making in the scrimmage. It seemed like at least in the 11-on-11, maybe they were not forcing things.
Absolutely, and that was one of the things that in the scrimmage when something bad happened or something flashed, I thought they were trying to do almost too much, and it's really let the game come to them. Let them have the opportunity to play one more snap, and not every play is gonna be perfect. Sometimes an incomplete pass is the best thing that we can have, but if you give yourself the next snap, then you got a chance to be successful in that moment. So I thought it was I really like the growth that they're showing. You look at a guy like Chuba, missing most of all of last year with just repetition. He just hasn't had it, and really getting the most extensive work that he's had since he's been here, and he's making some great strides.
Chuba and Tate, how do you like the response whenever maybe a bad play goes or something breaks down? How do you like when they're responding to that kind of situation?
That's good. They've been learning. They embrace the challenge. They know that they have to improve, and they've got that mindset. Yeah, he's had a really good camp, and Dennis, when Dennis first got here, was a defensive end. His body's changed and developed. He's been able to move inside, and he is explosive. He's explosive up front. With the thing that I like, not just with the first step, but really how he's been able to hold a point. Taking on double teams, using technique, using fundamentals. He's a guy that I think has a chance to be a really, really good football player for us there inside, and we need that.
So you have a good day of practice. Still wear the mark of shame next day, the orange jersey. That's not a bad thing.
We have standard things that we're doing within the program. Unfortunately for Dennis, he had a situation where his stomach wasn't feeling real good and was trying to get to a meeting on time, but it takes accountability whenever that happens. So it's not something that is common for him, but at the end of the day, just talk about planning the best that we possibly can plan. But yes, it's we have a couple guys that have had those distinctions.
You mentioned Kentron the other day, but it seems like he keeps making catches, and Jordan seems like he's been on the
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think Kentron. You look at how how little he's played the game, from a different team, situations, from only playing a couple years in high school, and what he's been able to do after his first year. Last year he got game experience, but there's a lot of things that was kind of forced into it. You see his confidence growing. You see the physical development really developing, and I'm excited about where he is, and I think he has a huge upside. I was really impressed with that. And then JY, he's been battling with a lot of different I would say minor injuries that he's had to work through, and this has been from summer into fall camp. But his mentality is night and day, even from where it was last year. And he's a guy that I think could be a great special teams player for us, a guy that can absolutely serve a role for us offensively. And he's working away at that, dealing with some of those things that he's having to work through.
From the younger tight ends today, it seems like we saw Marquise and Preston and Jackson all make plays.
Yeah, I think Jackson West is a guy that I've really been pleased with, and he's coming along. We got to throw him out there, and he's got to learn from the experience. Still some mistakes that have shown up, but Marquise, who missed all of last fall, and was very limited this spring. You see the potential that he has, and he is really. I'm excited. I'm excited about where his development is going. Has done a nice job there, and really all those tight ends. I mean, they're continuing to work. That needs to be a position of strength for us, and with what you have with Cam and Jordan Wilson, the two older guys, it's good to see the youth and the strides that they're taking.
Looks like DJ Lundy's flashed the last couple of days. Is he kind of trending in the right direction?
Absolutely. He's a guy I know I mentioned yesterday or 2 days ago in the media after going back and watching the scrimmage. I thought him and Kalen DeLoach really trending in the right direction. Of guys that made impactful plays, their speed, their physicality showing up. And that's what is great is you see that you're forcing a response from Steven Dix, Amari Gaynor, guys that are all fighting for roles. I know I mentioned Cortez Andrews as somebody that flashed in a scrimmage as well. I'm excited about the competition we have at that group. It's still a young group, and it's one that we've got to play at a high level, and they're starting to emerge in the ways that we need to see them.
Can you comment on your kickers and punters?
Yeah, I'll tell you, I think Alex, starting off with the punters, I think Alex has had an exceptional camp. Just the versatility of what he can do. His pocket punting is really outstanding. I mean, the way that he's been able to work in not only just the distance of the kicks, but the hang time he's been able to create. I think that can be a major weapon for us. And then the kickers, they're competing. They're competing every day in what they're doing. I thought Ryan, had a couple big kicks there late. We're putting them in challenging situations every day, trying to force that competition and who's going to respond in the moment. And I'm pleased with how that kicking battle's going as well.
Looks like they're making kicks.
That is a good thing. We want to make kicks, and we are making. We're making more. Making a good number of them. Still continuing to push that, but they're doing a nice job.
Mike, how important is versatility? Getting guys maybe to play a couple different positions for you guys.
Well, I mean, it's critical because you're never in control of injuries, and that's going to happen. There's going to be times that guys, that they have ups and downs, of availability. But especially in this time of this kind of climate, it's nothing's for certain, and so you have to be ready. You got to be able to mix and match and move, and our guys, they embrace the mental aspect of it, and it's something that we harp on. Just understanding the concepts, understanding where you need to fit. It was funny. We actually had Andre Wadsworth. He got a chance to I guess present to our team. We've been connecting a lot of the past players and educating our team about that. And Andre told his story about his redshirt freshman year as a walk-on defensive end that was all the way down the depth chart. But in the Miami game, they needed somebody to be able to go in and play nose, and all he had done was prepare. And he prepared to learn every defensive position up front. And when he got his name called, he made the most of it. Ended up starting every game the rest of his career. But the willingness that even though he was a defensive end in position, he was able to go in there and play nose, and it really sparked him to an incredible career.